Hello to everybody. I'm Luciana Mastronardo, professor at University of Chieti Pescara, and I will present you this work. The title is Digital Co-Design for Alternative Tourism, and it took part from a project financed by L'Aquila University, coordinated from Francesca Bellotti. This is like a journey through the territory of Abruzzo to discover how dwelling can become a form of care and resistance. We won't simply talk about digital tourism, but about how marginalized community can transform their peripheral condition into a resource for building alternative development models. Abruzzo represents what we can call a double margin. It's a region of southern Italy, already peripheral to a national center of power, and it is characterized by internal mountains area, experienced depopulation, and structural economic difficulties. However, this marginality is not merely a limitation. It's become fertile ground for experimenting with innovative forms of dwelling in the territory. When we speak of dwelling, we don't simply mean residing in a place. Dwelling, in the sense that emerge from our research, it's a political act. It means taking care of space, building relationship, creating shared meaning. It's what philosopher Martin Heidegger called dwelling, a way of being in the world that imply responsibility and care. This research reveals how these mountain communities are not passive victims of marginalization, but active subjects constructing alternative models of territorial development through what we might call practice of situated resistance. Our goal is understanding the experience of community-based cooperative of Abruzzo region and understanding the experience with another form of tourism that is not in. The hay cooperative we involve in our research are primary in the province of L'Aquila, from Aielli to Sante Marie, from Barrea to Campo di Giove. They are not simply points in the map, but nodes in a network. For example, Aielli, a small mountain village that La Maesa Cooperative has transformed into open-air street art museum. Here, dwelling means reactive, abandoned space, attractive, new visitor flow, but above all, restoring pride and identity for the local community. This is not gentrification, because those transforming the territory are inhabitants themselves. In Navelli, the Oro Rosso cooperative managed the production of saffron, a product that required ancient knowledge and care of territory. Here, dwelling means keeping alive a millennial agricultural tradition, while also offering hospitality in form that respect seasonal rhythms. Kalash, with his iconic fortes, and the Vivi Kalash cooperative represent a model of archaeological and naturalism tourism that doesn't limit itself to selling the landscape, but interprets it as living heritage to be transmitted. Each of these plays demonstrate how territorial care can become an economic practice that generates value while preserving the social and environmental fabric. The territory is an actor, is not consumed but cultivated, not explored but inhabited, with responsibility. Community-based cooperatives are peculiar economic subjects. Unlike traditional cooperatives, they don't provide service only to their member, but to the whole community. They are what we might call two-phase operator. They look toward external visitors as alternative tourism enterprise, while caring for the resident population. With them, we work on a platform mediated. The dual vocation is not a contradiction, but expression of a dwelling philosophy that refuses rigid division between inside and outside, between local and global. Tavola Rotonda in Campo di Giove represent an emblematic case in managed cleaning and sanitary service, local parks, camping area, but also a community meal for flour production and education workshop. It is an example of how the care economic can generate value without falling into the extractive logic of capitalism. This is exactly what we can call community-based tourism. Very carefully. Territorial care in this context is not a rural sentimentalism, but concrete economic practice. It means maintaining clean trails, preserving biodiversity, transmitting artisanal knowledge, creating job opportunity for young generation. Is an example of economy of proximity, economy relation that privilege local networks, short supply chain, direct relationship between producer and consumers. It's an economic that recognizes the territory, not as a resource to exploit, but as living system to nurture. The methodologic practice we chose is not neutral. We chose participatory design because we want to process itself to reflect the dwelling value we were studying. The workshop did take place not in anonymous academic space, but in place of community life, social center, cooperative headquarters, spaces that already embodied the philosophy of sharing. During the workshop, we observed how participants spontaneously use territory elements, map, photographs, local product, as mediator in the design project process. The territory was not only the object, but an active subject in the creative process. The cooperative did not speak about the territory, but with territory. The method mirrors the decision-making modality of communities, starting from problem sharing, collective imaging solution, rapid prototyping to test idea. It's an approach that privileges action over theory, doing together over thinking in isolation. The mapping phase was revelatory. Participants drew the territory not as a set of resources to exploit, but as a system of relationship to care for. Invisible connection emerges. The relationship between water quality and hospitality, between trail mountains and visitor reception, between tradition preservation and technological innovation. This methodology for a platform cooperativism represent what we can call sociology trial design, a research approach that use collaborative design process not only to create solution, but to understand the social dynamics and value that guide community in their territorial practice. Community resistance between practice and identity go on a platform cooperativism that define a practice of resistance. This is the mockup, a Abitero, the co-designed digital platform. It's not just a technological tool. It is the digital materialization of a dwelling philosophy. The name itself is significant. Abi recall dwelling. Terrò evokes territory in Italian. It's a platform that wants to be a master key for assessing the territory, but in a respectful and conscious way. The platform season calendar reflects the natural rhythms of territory. Not everything is always available because the territory has its own time. This apparent economic inefficiency is actually respect for the temporality of place and the community that inhabit on them. This platform maintains an internal tension, reflecting the challenge of accommodation diverse perspectives within a collective identity. It was the issue, a resistant community, which highlight the politics of both the space and the commitment that the cooperative share. The community notice board where resident and cooperative can post a service, offers and represent the digital extension of a village square. They ask for this, the traditional space of encounter and exchange. It embodied what we call situated digital commoning, the collective production and management of digital resource, grounded in local experience and relationship. 2K dimension, oppositional to dominant form of tourism sustainable by sectoral platform, propositional in relation to the vision of the tourism and of the contents platform, embedded in the design as they want. The oppositional component reflecting the cooperative dual mission, overcome the e-commerce logic of a local production, promoting agriculture and nature specification as a participatory service. Land is a central element. Overcome folklorization, which reproduce gender script and stereotype. We shouldn't do like Amazon, they said. Trusty, the anthropomorphic virtual assistants designed by the cooperatives, represent the human eyes of technology. It's not an impersonal algorithm, but has the face of one of the participants and can active video calls with cooperative members. It's technology at the service of human encounter, not its replacement. This is one of them. Registration design in opposition to mainstream platform only appears when it's time to send a request. Data request deliberative few with no possibility to log in via Facebook or Google account. It's an experience evaluation, not based on a reputational mechanism, but on text, providing feedback, aim and to eventually improve service and activity, encouraging reflection and fostering a deeper connection between visitors and local community for engage them in the territorial vision. The co-design process reveals significant tension that reflect the inherent concept of dwelling of the group. The discussion about the community notice board is emblematic. Some participants saw it as a showcase to attract tourists, others as a space for strength social cohesion. This tension is not a problem to be solved, but the manifestation of the complexity of the dwelling, complexity of what we call community. Booking activity are not automated, need of reaching a minimum number of participants. Scheduling of activity is not daily basis, but using a seasonal calendar, very important. Another tension that emerged concern membership. Must local business necessarily join a cooperative to appear on a bid roll? Behind these technical questions lie different conceptions of community and solidarity. It's the tension between openness and protection, between inclusivity and identity that traverse all community building process in the group. These tensions are important. Expression of what we call conflictual democracy, the capacity of community to hold together different visions while maintaining a common direction. They represent living, dynamic character of authentic dwelling practice, which resist both uniformity and fragmentation. Abitero incorporates a practical critique of mainstream platform logic, non-invasive registration, refusal of profiling system, absence of aggressive notification, are single gesture of resistance to the attention economy that characterize digital capitalism. The review system based on care rather than reputation transforms evaluation into a tool for mutual improvement. It's not about judging, but about caring together for equality of experience. This represents what we call technology of care, digital tool designed to strengthen relationship rather than extract value from them. The booking system that requires a minimum number of participants reflects a cooperative logic. Sustainability is collective, not individual. Users are asked to understand and share this logic, becoming part of a community process. There are not conclusions. This is an open work. The research showed that dwelling can become a practical of social transformation. Its experimentation with possible future marginal territory are not space to abandon or exploit, but laboratory, where concrete alternatives to the dominant development model are built. It's possible. This platform, this mock-up represents an example of how technology can be reappropriated by community to build space of resistance, space of solidarity. It's a little experiment, very small, but one that indicates possible direction for thinking a relationship between digital and territory, between innovation and tradition, between economy and care. Dwelling become form of commoning. The community we study demonstrate that marginality can become a resource. Smallness can be strength that can be economic. They show us alternative paths for inhabiting the world in an era of ecological and social crisis. Thank you very much for your attention.